DoggieDiamondsTV.com.
Yeah, what it is, people, it's your boy Doggie Diamonds. I got a special guest on the phone right here. One of my favorite rappers ever. An MC, rapper, lyricist. I don't know how many accolades and titles I could give him, but all around dope motherfucker in that booth, on that stage, in that cypher. Anywhere a beat is playing or not playing, and there's some lyrics to go, this man is here. Let him know who I got on the phone.
Salute, Doggie Diamonds. Just Ras Kass, man. Just representing
yo,
the lyricist, man.
I'm hyped. Like, I mean, first thing that comes in my mind is, so, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit is just so special to me because I remember growing up and just saying, yo, what the fuck is this shit? You know what I'm saying? And,
yeah, thanks to Diamond D, man. You know,
yeah. Man. Definitely one of the greats, DITC.
Yes, sir.
When you did that, and that's gonna bring them up to speed of what you got going on currently. When you did the Soul on Ice, where was your mind for that? Because you know this is pre New World Order, this is pre Millennium, and the big talk. The New World Order, we all getting a microchip and everything, which we all thought was gonna happen. It's still, you know, it ain't like it's over yet, but it didn't happen the way we thought it was gonna. Yeah, it ain't over till it's over. What was going on with you at that time when you was writing stuff like that?
I was already reading Behold the Pale Horse. You know, I was studying with the Moles, with the Moorish Nation. Studying with the Nation of Islam. I hadn't really stepped into anything, but you know, I was just getting a lot of information from a lot of different places, and kind of comparing all the information. And I had seen some things, you know, I've seen, you know, just things that, you know, people, you know, when they say like, oh, that ain't real, you know, like at that point, people didn't believe when I said, you know, you could just say something about a Mason and they'd be like, you know, not that every Mason is a bad person, but just understanding that there's some other things going on in this world, you know, or just trying to get people to look at a dollar. So I was just like, everybody, you know, the mass majority is blind and they got a plan, you know, and I used to tell people, you know, car companies playing cards 4 years ahead. They could give you the 2020 Toyota now. They just understand they could give you the 2020 iPhone. They already know what that is. So we're the ones that sit around and they little by little portion it off as they think you're ready for it. Plus, you know, from an economic standpoint, to drain the money from you. So a company, if a company would do that, what do you think a country does?
Yeah.
And it's the most sophisticated kind of company ever, you know.
But I think the people, not to cut you, but I think the people was confused because they like, well, he's from California. He's not supposed to be rhyming like that. Like that's how East Coast dudes rhyme. This is what Nas is talking about. This is what Killer Priest is talking about. This is what Wu-Tang is talking about. What is he doing talking about that? Did you get that criticism from your side? Like, what the hell are you talking about?
You know what? You know, a little bit when I was younger, but you know, I'm born and raised in L.A. and you know, people knew knew me. You know, back then it wasn't no internet, so you kind of had to go out there and, you know, you had to battle. You had to get out there and get your name going. You know, so I had earned a reputation for being myself anyway, just as a native, as a little dude from L.A. So everybody knew, like, you know, you know, people didn't always agree with me. My homeboys was trying to figure out why I didn't want to eat pork and, you know, whatever. So I was just like, look, man, you know, you got to learn better. Just because, you know, you get taught to eat dog shit don't mean you got to continue to eat dog shit, bro. You know, you know, so I was already doing that. On the flip side, Kid Capri already knew me. He had met me, and he was always like, you from the Bronx. I'm like, I'm not from the Bronx.
Yeah.
You gotta be from the Bronx. Like, he's like, you rhyme like a New York nigga. I was like, I rhyme like a nigga. Hip hop started in New York, so nigga, I mean, I rhyme studying, you know, the greats, you know, the people before me. I had to be a student before I could ever even hope to get a chance to get into, get into the actual game of the shit. So it was always mostly love. I mean, it definitely threw people off. I think marketing more than the streets of New York or LA, it was companies. I don't think they understood even for, the company I ended up signing to, Priority Records, I was, for them, and maybe for some artists, because niggas is clicky, it'd be the trap rappers, it's the player rappers, it's
the gangbangers,
the gangbanger, whatever, that, so I was, for them sometimes, not in the streets, but just in marketing, like, they had their cliques of who they rapped with. So it was almost like I was too West Coast to be East Coast, too East Coast to be West Coast, and they saw it. That wasn't really what it was. I was too lyrical to be gangster, nigga, and I was too gangster to be like one of the lyrical, kind of hippie, easy-going, true root
backpack.
So,
yeah.
I was too gangster to be backpack, too backpack to be gangster. Just couldn't fit in nobody's boxes, which that's not my fault. That's their fault, because I don't fit in a box. I don't think most people are. Like, we're too unique as human beings to be one-sided. You know what I'm saying? I'm a three-dimensional motherfucker, probably four. You know what I'm saying? So I have refused to market myself as one kind of nigga.
Yeah, so production, how did Diamond D? Like, I would expect you with, everybody was chasing Dre at the time, DJ Quick, you got Battle Cat, you got Jelly Roll, you got all these people from your side. How did Diamond D end up being the one that does this incredible record for you?
The dopest shit, because the original Solo Nights is on the album. And
that's what I'm saying. This is a remix.
Yeah, and so Diamond, they reached out, and that was a lot more really through, I believe, like, Bob people reaching out to, like, Kid Capri and all of them. And as D was, was he interested in doing it, and he had kind of heard of my music. And, the album wasn't out, but, like, I was already real cool with, like, the boot camp clique. It was certain niggas that we was already cool, just, through the journey, niggas going to seminars and, showcases and shit like that. So D heard about me and, he fucks with me, man. It was just a blessing. And back then, it wasn't no Pro Tools shit, so basically I flew out. And the crazy shit is then they decided they wanted to do the remix to the Diamond record and shoot the video to it. So, and they had a timeline, and they gave us 3 days to get the song done.
Wow.
Which was fucking crazy. So I went out with a notebook with some thoughts that I had, and I basically just stayed at Diamond's house. I didn't even do a hotel. He was living in Jersey at the time. So I went to his crib and just posted, and the nigga was just, like, we really cooked that record from scratch. That's the crazy
we
shit.
Talking about the 2-inch days. This ain't no Pro Tools where you could copy the verse or copy the chorus a few times. You got to say that shit 6
all
times.
That shit. Ad-libs got to be on beat, everything.
Yep.
Ain't no flying, it can't, literally everything. Like, we cooked that record from scratch. He was in, he was producing, he was going through fine shit. I finally walked in, I heard that shit, and I was like, okay. I was like, that's it. Fuck with that.
From a creative standpoint, do you wish it still went back to the just linking up with a producer and y'all banging out opposed to emails?
From a creative standpoint, there's pros and cons of both. I would say, honestly, those are experiences that, I mean, if I had to pick one or two, I'm going to say I would pick being able to kick it with somebody, because y'all end up, like, I tend to, from what Dre said to me, and I think he might have been one of the first people that brought it to my attention, I usually write about the shit that we talking about. So I tend to write on the spot, especially when I'm doing a new song. Like I'm just sitting there, we vibing, whatever we end up doing is what we talk with being OC, the record we did back in the day on the Lyricist Lounge, Volume 1, we was going to the strip clubs. So that's why we ended up making a song about really fucking with bitches and being in a strip club. Like, that's kind of how we are. Like, it's that natural zone that you are with somebody, and basically, you're both, it's not a Frankenstein monster, it's not a baby, but kind of sort of it's a baby. It's like, it's half of my vibe, it's half of the producer's vibe, and that comes together to make something different. You know what I mean? So having that experience in the studio is so natural, it's gonna be what it is, and he gonna say something that sparks you just in conversation, and that's, he may say some shit. Many a times I've been around people and they say some shit. I'm like, nigga, that's the song right there. That's
the lyric.
That's the name of the song right there, my nigga. Fuck it, let's get it. You know,
So
whenever.
we in 2016. I know who you are because I'm a hip hop student, hip hop baby, grew up in it. But for some of the new kids, when they search your name, they'll say, "Oh, yeah, beef with Gang." Is that
right.
fair? Like, how do you get away from that?
Yeah, they say corny. Like, my contributions go way beyond, really, to me, that's industry shit. Whatever. I don't even promote niggas I don't fuck with.
Yeah.
That's a corny way to start my story. I was before that, and I'm gonna be after that. I'm already after that. So, like, I hate the fact that one of the least talented, least important things about what I bring to the table, because of the hype machine, that's the shit that brings awareness, because that shit corny. Know about nature the threat, but that's the problem with people. They responded to ignorant shit. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely not fair to me. People, with no disrespect, but at the end of the day, my contribution to the West Coast is really bringing these bars and from a street perspective, not from a overly, I wasn't like the Muslim rapper or the spiritual god with chakras. I ain't never talked about no shit like that. I was just a nigga with some education. It was street knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Trying to give people knowledge itself and trying to drop a couple of jewels without preaching, just saying I'm a smart street nigga, which is kind of, the same thing, especially for younger niggas than, what the white people, what the industry is trying to credit Kendrick for. I've been doing that.
Yeah, facts. And all due respect to him, but he is a Ras Kass student, baby. She'll probably admit it's not even, it is what it is. And that's the dope thing about it, because you can see yourself in the new kids, which is dope.
Yeah, and much love. We all, like I said, I studied, the people before me. I'm sure, an MC like a J. Cole or a Kendrick or Absol or, whoever. Lyrical MCs with some substance, they had to do some kind of homework. You don't just, nigga don't just walk in, grab a mic, and he ain't never heard rap in his life, and then he just the best. You got to study and analyze. So, yeah. So I back, overall in the bigger picture, those are my contributions is that. Even the hip hop, like, I wrote Nature the Threat. It's a 8-minute history of racism. I went beyond, what my predecessors did. I went beyond You Must Learn. It was with nothing but fucking a revere fucking terrorist one. But I went even further. So I was trying to do things from my, from my point of view, but based upon the foundation that was created for me by Public Enemy and Nas and Tupac and Terrorist.
The X-Clan.
Poor righteous teachers. Yeah, exactly.
So when I was coming up, I used to always see your name. You was in the Source magazines, you was in these magazines, and you was always depicted as the dude that was an alcoholic that just can't stay out of jail. You keep fucking drunk driving, you keep fucking up. Was that a negative portrayal, or was that real?
No, they tried to treat. That wasn't the initial narrative. Once you start pissing off the white people, basically, that's what they're gonna do. So that became a way for them to. First, it was just that I was a racist. So it was like he hates all the white people. I was like, no, I don't, dude. I get along with everybody. And so that's once things got soured. And it actually came from two different ways. It came from the production company, which first it was just he's anti, it's hard to deal with, and it was really crazy because they had did some foul shit to me. When people try to demonize you, it's usually because they did some fucked up shit, so they trying to cover their ass. You know what I mean? Same way that people, police try to justify shooting us. Oh, he had a gun, he had a this. No, he didn't, bro. The camera just shows he didn't. You trying to vilify me to justify that you just did some fucked up shit. I always call it the cheaters, the show cheaters. The nigga gets caught and then he's like, you didn't have to do that. Yeah, nigga, because you was cheating, bro. Like, it ain't her fault. That's how you gonna do. Yeah, motherfucker, because you was cheating. If you knew you cheating, then they couldn't have followed you and saw you, you know, with your fat bitch. That's your fault. You know what I mean? So that's what it would. They will vilify you, but it didn't really start from parties. It started from Patchwork at the time, Bob Whitfield. So that was their whole thing. I'm hard to deal with. And then the crazy thing is getting producers would meet me and immediately other artists, people would say like, I heard you were so fucking, honestly,
Difficult,
behind closed
yeah.
doors. Just what they would say they would be like, honestly, man, they said you were hard. Man, you super cool. I was like, yeah, usually haters do that. That's just what haters do. They're the bad people, but they got to make sure they can justify it by throwing me under the bus. So that's what it was. And then,
yeah.
Grew with, huh?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and that grew once there was contention, with the company, that they would have to do some more shit. So then they could do the racist, and then then it was, oh, he's just fucking crazy. He is drunk all the time. But the facts still remain this. I'm in the studio sessions. I was always the first in the booth, the one that left, with all the work done, helped other people. My work ethic is fucking historical. You can ask that of Premier, Dr. Dre, anybody I've ever worked with, any MC, like, nah, that nigga be in here, guns out. And I can miss time after because I finished my job. But my job is most important. I love what I do. If I was that guy, then my music would reflect that. Like, if that was my problem.
So being lyrical, concentrating on lyrics, 2016 for the last maybe 10 years, it has not been about lyrics. It's just been about maybe, first it was calling them ringtone rappers. Now it's all about jingles. Now it's about trap rap. What makes you still fuck with this game? Like, why didn't you just throw in the towel and say, yo, man, they don't want to hear what the fuck I got to say. I'm out because I'm never going to conform. And why didn't you say, you know what? I'm gonna make one of them joints and get this money?
I think everybody's journey is different, and to their credit, Mos Def, Kweli, Common, Jay-Z, Nas, Big Pun, Biggie, Ludacris, Outkast, everybody else has been able to fucking, you don't have to sell 10 million records to have a good life. And this is my only job. This is the only thing I've ever done. I didn't sell 10 million. There's been some peaks and some valleys, but there's two parts of it. I love what I do. There's not really many other things I'd like to do. And I have something to prove anyway. So it's part of what all the haters tried to do by trying to make me the drunk dude or the hard to get along with guy. I need to end up telling the end of the story. I'm not going to let them tell the end of the story because they'll try to act like I never existed. I have to finish my story. So I'm not going to let, who knows, I may quit next year. I'm doing, I'm going to finish, at least give you the backstory of what my journey's been, before I let, these clowns sit there and narrate it and it's a lie. They're all liars. Anybody I have beef with in general, they really have more beef with me and more haters than anything. So I'm not gonna let the haters tell my story. Just think about it. If we didn't fuck with each other, and I gotta tell a story about you growing up and everything, I'm gonna make your story fucked up.
Yeah. By no means am I saying quit. Don't think that. No.
But I think what you're saying is a valid question, and I'm just answering it as honest as I can. I can't quit because I can't let the liars tell my story. I got to tell my story. So that's really where I'm at with it. Like, I got to finish this out and let people know this is really what happened, man. This is how it went down. This is, and this is where I'm at. And then, like I said, because I enjoy it, and at some point, yeah, there's always, I think nobody really had to tell me. I gave advice a few times to other artists that were going to be very successful. I think I innately understood, for me, that if I tried to be something I wasn't, even if it sold, I'd be a victim of selling myself. So
Everything
I
you
didn't
hate.
want to
Yeah.
be the gangster rapper. I did not want to come out that way. I grew up in Watts, you know, so I remember asking Battle Cat, like, if I came out and started crip walking, I forgot how to crip walk. I grew up in crip neighborhood. But if I came out and started crip walking, I was like, what do you think? And he was like, you know, and then I asked, he's like, you know, I would support you, but I'll be looking at you funny, Raz, because that just ain't who you are. Like, cause you not, you know, you like, you know, you are you. You always been strong enough to just be yourself in the hood. So why would you start doing it now for some Hollywood shit? Does that make sense? So for me, I had, you know, my big homies looking out for my best interest saying, you know, nigga, we fuck with you, and niggas in the street, and niggas in the pen saying, you a real nigga, Raz. You tell that story, and thanks for telling it instead of fucking turning it into a stereotype.
Yeah. No, definitely.
So that gave me a lot of strength to believe in myself.
Be you. Yeah, just be yourself. Yep.
Yeah.
So, all right. I'm in the crib one day and I'm going on the internet and I'm listening to shit and I see this kid named Apollo Brown. His name was intriguing to me. Sounds like Apollo Brown. Now you know, I love music. I love beats more than anything. So
right.
I was like, yo, this kid got some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to the beats and then I see Apollo Brown and Ras Kass and I see How to Kill God. So I'm like, what the fuck? What type of title is that for one? And
exactly.
what the fuck is this shit? So I hit play and I'm like, holy fucking shit. Like, I want the world to hear this because this record is so incredible and this is so crazy. I'm like, this is what my soul been longing for musically.
Thank you. Thank you.
When you do music like that, and you have people like me telling you this is what they needed from the music industry and the music business, how do you think that could get to the masses? Is those days over where... Go ahead.
I don't know, man. Like, you know, I actually said it, I kind of had a Kanye moment about 3 weeks ago. It's just a dude was saying some shit about, you know, if your music good, it'll sell. And he didn't really understand as a fan. He just thinks good music, like it just pops up in your bed and just like, no, listen to me. Like everything in life is advertising shit to you. You can't use your computer. You can't walk down the street without big billboard signs. Even the car has on the license plate, it has the dealership. It's advertising you. The emblem on the car. Everywhere you go, the shirt you got on, it got an emblem. So I don't have, you know, the $100 million that McDonald's has to advertise and tell you actually make a better burger than McDonald's. So that's the harder part. And when I was on, you know, when I was in work for McDonald's, they didn't want to sell my burger as much. You understand what I'm saying? I had the healthy bomb-ass burger with, you know, with the avocado, you know, whatever, with the works, and 100%, you know, free range and blah, 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 blah. They didn't want mine. They wanted the Big Mac. They like selling, you know, they want to sell you the bullshit because it's cheaper, it's bad for you, you probably get, you know, sick, but there's probably some addictive shit in it to, you know, whatever. So that's really the challenge is that, you know, to finish that thought. So I was just telling the cat, I was like, bro, it's not about who the best. It's not about the best music. It's different. NBA, we get out there on a court and you prove it, or MMA or boxing, you know, but this is music and it's who's promoted. You know what I'm saying? And it was really like, I feel like that album came out basically like end of 2014. You know, I'm like, bro, we had the album of the year. We done. And I'll stand by that. It was 2014 was a really dope year. And to me, I think in Rap Prime came out, which is dope. Run the Jewels 2 came out. Other dope albums came out. But I just feel like we gunned out. How, you know, Blasphemy with How to Kill God. I think we rocked out. I think Apollo showed his ass on those beats. I think he just had it up.
I mean, How to Kill God lyrically. You know, you was right in pocket where I'm at in my knowledge. So I understood everything you was talking about and everything you was saying. You know, I think. Right. You know, it was right there, and like I said, it was refreshing because I thought that hip hop was gone. Like I really gave up on that. You know, so when I seen it, I stood by it. Matter of fact, I posted this shit again yesterday, just for those who missed it. You know what I'm saying? I posted it when it first came out, and I posted it again yesterday. When you have your peers, the artists that people would consider more successful than you, and they tell you in private, yo, Ras, yo, you go hard, yo, your shit crazy, but you don't see them tweeting and promoting you. Do you say to yourself, yo, if you fuck with me, why you don't support me, or you just chalk it up as that's how the business is?
I have to chalk it, to be honest, because we're all, you know, it's a sport and it's a competition. And so, you know, it kind of hurts because some people you may have a rapport with in a relationship and you would think like, I'll see, cause I'm different. I like to see a dope nigga win. Eminem would tell you when he was a brown-haired, brown-eyed Eminem, I fucked with Eminem. I was like, bro, you dope. I'm not like that because I don't feel threatened by no other dope MC. I'm a congratulator, not like a, you know, some of these niggas just angled out like, oh, it ain't enough room. If this nigga win, then I can't win. I never felt that way, so I'm more of a supportive nigga, and I ride with and support other niggas. And sometimes, you know, you expect that thing in return. Flip side of that is it kind of burns a little bit. Like, damn, my nigga, like, you know, like niggas have, you know, taken lyrics or niggas have, you know, whatever, niggas and took flows, whatever. And then you want a nigga to just get a credit because they in a position where if they just gave the credit, that million people would realize that I'm dope too. Because they're just fans. They just see who he's got more advertising. They think he's good. And if he just said, yo, you also should check out so-and-so, you know, check out Ras, then that would help. But a lot of times from a business standpoint, they like, well, shit, we selling cars. I can't be talking about Ras car when I'm selling fucking Maseratis and he's selling Bentleys. I can't promote the Bentleys. I understand that.
Yeah.
But so I can't get too butthurt about it. It does burn a little bit. And then I can flip side that. Grace just was on, he was on, Ambrosia for Heads. And he just sat there and just said some real, it was super dope. You know, he was talking about Sean P. And then he just talked about, you know, the people who, you know, who he foundationally. And, you know, as my homeboy and as my peer, as an ill MC, he's like, yo, you know, Ras is responsible for, you know, a lot of what I sound like, you know, and Sean, I got this from Sean, delivery techniques, and I got this from Redman. And, you know, Guru, Gangstar, get the credit where it's due. I think as a fan and as an MC that's in this business, it's dope to get a credit. I love to say like, yo, I got that, you know, I kind of took that flow from Biggie right there. Like, I'll break it down for you. Like, yo, that's, in the rap. Just did my Biggie flow. You know what I mean? Whatever. Like, it's dope to give that credit to people, to me. You know, I don't look at it as a threat. I look at it as, you know, they put it down. They gave me a foundation. You know, I didn't think I'd be able to have a job off this. And I'm not, you know, like, again, I'm not, you know, the multi-platinum superstar guy, but I've been blessed enough to be able to make a living with doing this. So just imagine when the world really gets to know and gets to compare some of these other people and they get a load of me. I mean, honestly, people could go by Blasphemy now and it'll be the best record. Out of what's happening.
I'm definitely not disagreeing with that. That record is fucking incredible.
I mean, Apollo showed it. I mean, he murked it. And I was blessed to have that kind of canvas to paint on. So really the pressure was on me and I feel like we get you know, I feel like I got nervous a little bit. I was like, yeah, I can't really go wrong on these beats. All I could do is fuck this shit up. All I could do is, you know, ruin it. Or just do some average shit. I was like, let's not do average. Let's do some shit. Let's make some dope shit. Yeah, and I wish the world heard that. You know, like people, like, you know, sometimes it gets a little, you know, disappointing. Like, you know, people like you, it's great motivation, but then look at, it's another fucking 50 niggas for every one. It's like 50 niggas, like, you still think this other nigga shit hot. Nigga, why don't you just, but when they hear it, then they get it. You feel me? But it's just trying to get them to listen for the first time. Or
they're looking at you like, yeah, you did Soul on Ice, but don't know that you done put out projects and had more music since then. It just went under the radar for,
They're living in my past, and I'm busy like, dude, this current shit, fuck, you know, no disrespect, but fuck Soul on Ice, my dude. Like, you can check my catalog, bro. Like, my sons just listened to Solo Nights for the first time last week. Niggas called me because they 19 and there's twin boys and shit. And they MCs too. But they busy studying these other niggas. They finally, and I'm their pops. It's too close to home. Niggas came over here and bowed down. Niggas is just like, fuck, I didn't know. My bad.
Yeah. So, the project that everybody was anticipating, that never happened. The Horseman project.
Yeah.
Yeah. What point was it like, okay, this shit ain't never gonna happen. No, it's not gonna happen. Because y'all did have some records floating around out there, but it wasn't really mixed. And I could tell it wasn't incomplete. They was kind of like put out there from a damn cassette tape or some shit like that. But it wasn't.
Yeah. Somebody leaked it. Somebody out of somebody's camp. I don't know. I'm not gonna point the fingers right now, but what it really was, man, was that we're Slaughterhouse before Slaughterhouse. We were the super group. There's one Wu-Tang member, one Dogtown member. Canibus was down with Fuji's, and then me, probably the least connected to like an organization. But it's really hard to get everybody. It's not the creative part of it. The creative part is easy, but then there's all these other people, managers and so-and-so's with these agendas, and they come in and they mess things up. And so we recorded a lot of stuff, and in like 2000 we did it, and then I got into it, with the label. Then I got my case. I was out. But it already fell apart by then, and then, it got leaked. And so, whatever, I pretty much gave up on it by then. And then Slaughterhouse did their thing, which was super dope. And around, because I went to prison twice. So the second time I got out around, I want to say 2010. And I called Corrupt, and I was over his house, and I was just like, yo, Slaughterhouse was murking it, and I was like, yo, man, they killed it, it's dope. And I talked to Priest too, and I was like, well, for me, as, we kind of created that concept, but they executed, so that's dope. No hate on them, all love. Like, again, congratulations. Like, I know how hard it was to deal with you three motherfuckers. The fact that them four could keep it together and get 2 albums out, and it worked well for them. It was dope. It showed me what we could have done if we could have got the bullshit out the way. And it usually wasn't us, it was the people around us. It's all the other people with the agendas, but they're not in there making the songs. They didn't come up with the idea of being a group. Now they all, you think you're gonna manage us. The M80s. It's all the corny shit. And niggas not stepping up and checking their people and saying, look, bro, get the fuck out of here. You aren't a part of this shit. We ain't even made it yet, so get out of here. So I felt like, niggas lost focus. Well, anyway, back to the bigger point. I wanted to make a song just for myself. I was very proud of Royce. I know everybody in Slaughterhouse individually, Crooked Eye, we just different relationships. I knew when I got into it with Game, I was, fucking recording over at Joel's studio, That's kind of off the record. I just don't want to associate, him associated with the bullshit, but whatever. But we all knew each other. So, and I knew him before he signed to Dre. That's the easier way to say it. I knew Joel before he even signed to Dre. I was talking to him and giving him advice when he was going to Aftermath. So, much respect to them cats off top. I wanted to just make a song for my project for myself. So I was like, hey, let's get the gang back together, basically. Let's do one more song. And we did the song, and I really liked the song. I wanted to shoot a video. This on the Adidas project. And then I asked everybody to shoot their part. The only person that did it was Canibus, and then the shit came out dope, and then everybody got excited. And like, yeah, we could do it again. And then once again, niggas let their side people get into it and fuck it up. And, that's when I just realized that's when, me personally, I was like, this could never work. It's just niggas are setting their ways. They have, they have their own management and they have all these other people in their ear, and it keeps undermining what we trying to do, because
basically too many fucking yes men and women around.
Yeah, man, and it was just and I just quit. So I left the group. I left the group after Canibus dissed J. Cole. And when we were talking about credit where credit's due, J. Cole had did nothing but give Canibus credit. Spit his verse. Nigga obviously was a fan. And I just felt like I don't want to be associated with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I and I couldn't get him to understand that, some of those things were counterproductive. He reached that conclusion on his own. I told him, my feelings about M80, and he had to reach those conclusions himself. I think a lot of bad things had to happen for Canibus career-wise for him to realize he was rolling with, with snakes. So I just got out of there because it was just corny. Sometimes some people are here just to be venomous. They snakes, they just straight snakes. You know what I mean? So that's just what their goal is. They fucking bloodsuckers. So
when you not to cut you, but speaking of Canibus, when you seen him pull out that notebook with the broke arm, what's the first thing you thought in the battle?
I'm not throwing my boy. I'm always, I got love for him. From a battling point of view, man, I had already said no good can come of this battle. So I said no good can come out of it. And I'm going to tell you why. Solar Lights is 20 years old now. If you pay me $20,000, that means that my life, all the work, is worth $1,000 a year. I'm worth more than that. So for me to potentially embarrass myself and basically erase all the hard work I've done, the ups and downs, the sideways, the successes, the failures, all that shit, is not worth $20,000. Now, if you say $10 million or $5 million, then I can put it. I can monetize that. I can say, okay, for every year, I deserve that. I'm not doing that shit, and so it's just about people have a price. We all have prices. I hope I don't, certain shit. My ass ain't got a price. Certain things, in my integrity. Ultimately, I would pray don't have a price. I'm not doing that. I feel like I work too fucking hard to subject myself, and it's not my sport. It's a different sport. So niggas get on to the battle rap shit, and that's kind of what it is. They want a name that they can fucking rip apart. I'm not gonna give them all my hard work for them to rip that apart potentially.
In 9 minutes, he killed your whole career in 9 minutes.
Yeah, why do it to yourself? But that just depends on how thirsty you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, some niggas have photographic memories and they remember all their raps. I don't. I write history shit where I'm doing dates and I'm doing history. I'm doing science. I can't remember all them fucking things sometimes. It takes, I got a refresher course on some of that shit. And that shit is more theatrical and all that. That's a different sport. Like, I always say, like, Michael Jordan was really good at basketball. He wasn't all that great at baseball, bro. Bo Jackson was better. Bo Jackson was better at two sports than Michael Jordan was. So, but that's the anomaly. That don't always happen. So, that sport of memorizing 5-minute verses and having all the, the hand gestures and all up in a nigga face and you kind of spitting, I don't really like that because I'm just kind of from a city where, those is fighting words of nigga breathing all in your face and all like.
Say you gonna fuck your daughter in the mouth, fuck your daughter.
Yeah, so it's reckless, but it's dope for what it is, and they get it. They know what they're doing. It's just a different sport, so it's still athletics. I respect it. It's just not a sport that that I've practiced in, and I wouldn't just go jump. I never skydived before. You think I would jump out of an airplane with a fucking parachute today? No, I haven't even trained for that shit. I'll be a dead guy.
So we let's bring them up to speed. Okay, so 2016, I seen the trailer out there. It was on ForbesDVD.com and Doggie Diamonds TV, both of my websites. Soul on Ice 2, you're doing a crowdfunding thing to put this project together. Give us a little details about that.
Yeah, well, Soul on Ice 2 is basically, it's actually a 2-part record.
Okay.
The one thing I did want to explain to people, man, is, you know, I definitely, it's more of it's a pre-order with you know, with perks, with options. So there's, you know, the album is going to be made. So it's a crowdfunding for me to have the ability to, you know, possibly make vinyls, possibly, you know, CDs. I actually have a pair. They're on my Instagram now. So we have these All Stars, Solo Nights All Stars. So it's all these different perks, and I want to, you know, those things, you know. So we have all these perks, and you know, the goal is to raise 35,000.
Okay.
And mostly that's really about, for me, using that for, I want to shoot a video for Nature the Threat. So there's some throwback things that I want to do to just for Solo Nights. It's really about, really, I think people need to go listen to Solo Nights. I really think that's one of the bigger things that people need. Like 20 years later, my record still stands up. And obviously, Solo Nights 2, my goal is to make something that 20 years from now still stands up. Like, I'm trying to make, you know, when I think when it's all said and done, I go down as one of the greatest, period. But my goal is to make sure I prove that. And, I really, what I want to do is, like I said, make content for Solo Nights 1, shooting videos. I want to make sure that the sonics to Solo Nights 2 are, you know, mastered right. And also really, just promotion. So that money really is about that. The album is going to be made, you know, regardless.
Whether you get $10 or 10,000.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's, you know, and I always try to explain that to people, like, you know, studio costs, but you know, this, I do that part of it. You know, producers, you know, like that money, that money, you know, people act like, like Pete Rock, this is his job, to get Pete Rock or get the RZA or get Immortal Technique or get Kweli. People don't really understand that part of it. Like, bro, I'm not asking you to do that shit. I'm asking, you know, I want to crowd fund and make sure that the sonics of it and the tangible stuff, the CDs, the physicals exist. And then I would like to promote it and PR people and internet, you know, internet promotions. They don't just do it for free. So that's kind of what the goal is. Shoot the video and to be able to have somebody go promote it the same way we were talking about McDonald's and all that earlier. So that's the goal, man. You know, we're getting there. We're probably at like 10%. I think we've been up for like a week and a half. So I definitely, you know, encourage anybody, man. You know, if you want something and want to be a part of something that is worthwhile, I think really just to see a video for Nature the Threat, I want to make that happen, and I would love for people to, you know, help me make that vision, you know, possible. And then yeah, it's, you know, it's a 2-part album, so I really feel like it's a trilogy. So Solo Night I made in '96. It's 2016. I'm dropping IP, intellectual property, in June, and then technically it's Solo Nights 2.0 in December. So it's two albums. I didn't want to do the double album shit because it's just too much information for people, especially where I'm going with it. So intellectual property is more so about me personally, you know, what I've been through, my journey. What did I learn 20 years, you know, am I the same, you know, me dealing with those things from a personal level, family shit, things like that. And I think that Solo Nights 2.0 is more about the bigger ramifications, the social impact, you know, from a historical standpoint. You know, like you said, they didn't chip our hands, but what did they do? They, you know, we got a black president, they start shooting niggas in the street. You know what I'm saying? So
putting out all these slave movies while the president is, while a black man is in office, they put out mad slave movies and let us know, yeah, y'all got a president, but this is where we think y'all came from.
This is what we see. Yeah. So it had to be 2 parts. And intellectual property is something that's kind of used in business. You know, so it's talking about what I had to go through. It's like the backstory of kind of personally of, you know, dealing with the Capitol records and the records. You know, just all those things. So, bless, you know, like, if people go to the Kickstarter, the Indiegogo, I'm sorry, you know, there's a general idea of people that are on it or might be on it. I don't want to ruin that yet. I haven't like put out the track listing for either one of them, but you know, let's just say like I got some amazing collabos, some amazing producers, and it's just getting better, man, because I'm still working on it. So I'm just geeked. You know, if anybody that's interested, you can always go to my bandcamp.com and download. We just leaked the record. We leaked a song called Downward Spiral, which is features Knuckles, Bumpy Knuckles, and Onyx. And we're actually shooting that video in the next couple of days. So, you know, we just getting it in, man, getting content, there's going to be a dope video. Like, the concept for the video is dope. I definitely want to thank, Freddie Fox, Bumpy Knuckles, and Fredro and Sticky Fingers. So, you know, we just keeping it moving, man. And hopefully, you know, people can catch up because, I mean, they already behind. They ain't even heard, you know, if you ain't heard Blasphemy with me and Apollo Brown, you behind, man, you know, and trust.
I mean, people claim that they want real hip-hop, but when you give it to them, they don't want it. They want it from who they want it from, but those people aren't capable of making it. It's almost like going into a Chinese restaurant and asking for pizza. You know where you at. They don't serve pizza in a Chinese restaurant. You have to go to a pizzeria. So if you want real hip-hop, make sure you contribute to Ras Kass' campaign. And in his defense, and to go off of him doing a crowdfunding, the presidents are elected through campaign donations. There's nothing wrong with donating to something that you want to see happen. There would be no presidencies without donations. $1,000 a plate for fucking 4 ounces of food, people be paying because they support and believe in it. So if you support and you believe in real hip-hop and you know what this man has done for 20 years plus, $5 ain't going to hurt you.
At all.
$5 ain't gonna hurt you, cause you know, like I say to people, they say they want this and they say they want that, but they stand online for hours for Jordan, and Michael Jordan don't give you shit, and he keep actually giving you the same shit over and over, and you so stupid you keep buying the same shit over and over, actually killing motherfuckers for the same shit.
Yeah, my man was just saying that. You know,
so
he don't even wear it, and then he diss us, and you'll stand in line for that. You know, I'm trying to give something back to the people, but, you know, I hope the people get it, man. A lot of times they support the people that don't support them. So.
Well, it's the Stockholm Syndrome. We know that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Black people still suffer from post-traumatic slave syndrome, Stockholm Syndrome. You know, people love, you know, we love our captors. That's the craziest shit. But we say we hate niggas. We hate niggas, but we love the people who did all the fuck shit to us. We forgave them, but hate a motherfucker because he looked at you. You know, which is...
That's sick.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation that we'll elaborate on with them one day. But yo, I definitely wanna thank you for your time. Like I said, I'm a super duper supporter, fan. Thank you for all you did for hip hop, man, and hopefully everything goes right for you. I'm definitely gonna do what I can do on my end to make sure everything goes right. And when you come to New York, let's link. I'm in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? We definitely gonna link, man. So thank you for coming. Just let them know, man. We on Doggie Diamonds TV.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? This is the Waterproof MC, Ras Kass, chilling with my nigga Doggie Diamonds. Tune in, baby. Yeah.
All right, that's what it is. So, yo, I'm gonna chop this up. I'm gonna try to get this out tomorrow. Any artwork or anything you need, I'm gonna email your people. Well, I could just tell them they got the email, so I'll correspond with them. And any artwork you need in it, the album covers or whatever you need to go in this, because I would like to flash it in there. And I definitely need the. Go ahead.
Song? We just dropped it.
I get that. I find that easy. You know what I'm saying? I find that easy. But what I need the URL for the Kickstarter. I definitely need that.
Yes, sir. Can I text to this number or no?
Yes, sir. Okay. That's my direct number. All right, so we build later on. Yo, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Doggie.
Yes, sir. Peace.
All right, peace.
Hey, thank you for watching. Don't leave without subscribing. Hit that subscribe button. Peace.